So welcome back to the channel, and today we're taking a look at a tool. So one of the most important tools that you probably should have, especially with newer vehicles, is a scan tool. Now they range anywhere from $60 to several $1,000s, but a basic scan tool will give you the information that you need to diagnose your vehicle. Check engine light comes on, scan tool reads it, and it gives you a direction of which way you need to go. But one thing that is important about the scan tool is that you need to be able to get data from it. What is your map sensor doing? O2 sensors, mass airflow, a whole bunch of sensors. It's good to see what the data PIDs are for it, and they'll kind of give you a direction. Just because you get a check engine light doesn't mean that is the problem. There are many times where another issue is causing that check engine light, and that's where having good data on a scan tool is important. So this company, Autophix, sent this out. This is the DM5900. They sent this scan tool, and it's actually pretty cool. Reads data. And what I like about it is that it gives you graphs, so you can kind of see, like, for example, what the O2 sensors are doing, certain values, stuff like that. But not only does it do that, it also checks your battery. So let's go ahead. In fact, it'll probably be a lot easier. Let's get this on the bench. So a small little scan tool, nothing bad, not too fancy. Now keep this in mind. A lot of newer vehicles, they're not going to give you all the information that you need. This is more for common vehicles, if I would say. I mean, OBD2, obviously, but some of these manufacturers, you have to go into their special mode to get more information about this. So, I mean, for the basic DIY, one like this is really good. But if you're going to be doing a lot newer vehicles or even more heavier diagnosis, you're going to want a more expensive scan tool with bi-direction. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, it does come with this, which this goes plugged into your battery. This kind of loops right over there, and I'll show it quick on the vehicle. Plug this in, negative and positive, lets you know the voltage, charging voltage. It does test the battery, so I think it's a really cool feature. So let's go ahead, dive into my truck, and let's take a look at what this thing can do. So this is my 2004 Chevy Silverado, and the first thing we need to do is find the OBD2 port. It's right over here in this truck. Pop it in just like so. We're just going to do a key on, engine off. And here's our screen. It's bright, it's well lit, so that's kind of cool. And the first thing we're going to do is go into OBD2. Now you can read codes, which I shouldn't have any codes. Erase codes if we had to. Our data stream, which I'll have to turn the engine on just to read it. Our readiness to find out what systems haven't finished their tests. So right now we're good. Fuel, yep, catalyst, heated catalyst monitor, so evap, incomplete, EGR because we don't have it. Let's go ahead, let's turn it on. Let's go back and let's look at the data stream. Now what I like is the view graph items. You can select which ones you want. Let's kind of see what it shows. Yeah, we probably have to be a little more specific because that's a lot of information. So let's go ahead, let's select items. The biggest one would be engine coolant, short term, long term. Selected these four. And you can read the graph to find out if it's oscillating. And a good thing about a graph is if there's any like irregularities or blips, it's a good way to see it. So I like the graphing feature. But if you don't want the graphing feature, we can view all items and just look at the numbers. So coolant temperature, 35 degrees Celsius, engine's warming up. Short term, bank one, long term. This will kind of give you an idea of how your engine's running. If you got a lazy O2 sensor, sometimes a lazy O2 sensor will cause issues, but it won't trigger a code because it's just not giving a hard fault. Mass airflow readings, ignition timing. So a whole bunch of pretty good information in there. So now I'm in the diagnostic modes. I already selected the vehicle. It automatically picked up the VIN. We can either do a system scan or system selection. If you just want to do the power train, anti-lock brake, supplemental. Let's just go with the anti-lock brakes. Read any fault codes. Now we do have the readiness monitors. Taking a look at this, obviously our evap system, because we haven't run a full drive cycle, is not complete, but everything else seems to be working. We don't have an EGR or whatever the HCAT is. Then going back over here, DLC pin test, which I mean, really nothing fancy about that part. You know which one's your ground, you know which one's your voltage. Pin 16, 14.5 volt, that has battery voltage. So you know where your power and ground on your pins are. But with that, let's go ahead, let's dive under the hood and let's take a look at the battery test feature. So moving on to the battery test, hook it up to your battery. Love GM and their side posts. They do kind of click back if you don't get them in right. But anyways, moving on to the battery test, you can hit battery right over here. Tells us our voltage 12.47. But the good thing about it is that it gives us a chance to test our battery, cranking, kind of let you know if the starter is drawing too much, our charging test, and you can run through all that. So pretty cool features, and review the data of the battery, which I think this is pretty cool. Health 649 amps, 74%. Power 12.47, so it is a little low. This truck has been sitting for over a week, so probably got to run it just to get the battery up a little bit, but really good information to know. And on the bottom it says battery is good, but it does need a recharge, which, like I said, it's been sitting for a week. There might be a draw. I might have to look into that, and this might be a good tool to kind of help me go down that rabbit hole, or just use an ohm meter. But I think it's pretty cool that I can get an idea of my charging system, starter, if my battery is good. So pretty cool feature that this tool has. So with all that being said, let's give you my final thoughts and wrap this up. So like I said, a scanner is a good tool to have depending on your level, skill, what you're trying to do, get out of it. I mean, they range anywhere from, like I talked about, $100 to a couple of $1,000. This one I think is like 100, maybe 130, 150. I'll post the price on the screen. I'll post a link if you're interested. But the information that it does give you is good to get you started, get you in the right direction. The battery test feature is pretty awesome, but it's not bi-directional, which if you're going to do advanced diagnostics, it's good to have bi-directional so you can test things like sensors, relays, a whole bunch of cool things that bi-directional does give you. And some of the fancy scanners, you can do ECU coding, key programming, but I recommend those type of scanners if you do a lot of automotive repair work quite frequently. They do pay for themselves, but for a regular DIY guy just trying to get to the right direction, read the codes, see what he needs to do, test his battery, or erase the codes after a repair, because you know that's a thing. I do recommend a scanner like this. A scan tool is a must. So I'll post a link if you're interested in checking this out. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.